Hey friends, welcome back. I'm Trailblazer Tim. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hopefully everybody is having a great day with family and friends, lots of food and relaxation. The last couple videos you guys have seen me talk a lot about trekking poles. Today is no different. This is the third in a three-part series on trekking poles. Today I'm going to show you the easiest and quickest method to set up an emergency shelter with trekking poles. So in today's video, simplicity is paramount. You're not going to see any kind of carabiners, any paracord, ridge lines, or anything like that. Just a simple 10 by 10 rain fly, a handful of stakes, and 2 trekking poles. All right, so you can see now that we have our 10 by 10 rain fly, or if you want to, a tarp, in the square position. We're going to go to the back 2 corners and we're going to stake them off. So now that we've got our back 2 corners pegged off, let's move to the front. Now we're at the first front corner. We've got a stake in our hands. I'm going to take that front loop and we're going to kind of like flip it towards center and bring that loop in towards center about a foot and place our stake down. Same thing on the second front corner. We're going to take this and we're going to kind of loop it about a foot and put our stake in there. Can you see that? Okay, so this is kind of what we're looking at from the front end. Remember, we staked down the 2 back ends, came around to the front, we took and we fluffed the 2 front ends over with the loops about a foot, staked them down. Now time to get the trekking poles. So I've got my 2 trekking poles, and you can see I took both the rubber ends off here. At this point, you're going to kind of have to play it by ear on what height is going to work for you. In this case, I've decided at least start by being right about the height of my belly button. Let's go ahead and see what we can get from there. All right, so we're going to take our 2 trekking poles. Now remember, you may end up having to adjust the height on these. We're going to try to work them together. Watch. All right, so this is what we're working with right now. Not bad, but I'm going to show you a couple adjustments to get the most out of this shelter. All right, so at this point, it's not looking bad, but we want to make some adjustments. I'm going to come over here to the one side, away from the front. Well, I have another loop. I'm going to take a stake. Now, I'm not going to try to drag this tarp out any further. I'm just going to put a stake down through there, just to add a little bit of security so when we start adjusting our trekking poles, we don't rip the stakes up. Now the key to getting this right, because this can get tricky and a little bit frustrating, is to make sure that you get your poles adjusted to the right height. And when you put them in here, hold on to that tarp at the top. You're going to take and you're going to want to push the tops out towards the end as far as you can. So I'm doing that. Stake them down. That way the tension's there, like that. Now can you see how I took both of those trekking poles, I got them adjusted to the right height and kind of angled them outwards a little bit just to add more security and more tension across the top. You'll have to play around with it until you find what works for you. All right, so let's go through some of the pros and cons of this simple little trekking pole shelter. First pro about this kind of a shelter setup is it's easy. Very little things needed in here. I didn't have to bring any kind of paracord or carabiners or anything like that. A simple little rain fly with some stakes and a couple trekking poles. I didn't have to tie off to any kind of trees or anything. Lightweight and very easy to put up as long as you have patience and know what you're doing. The cons to this type of shelter is there is no floor, and on top of that, it's an open front. Not to mention the fact that if you're a lumbersome sleeper and you move around a lot at night, you don't want to end up kicking one of these over or else it'll be completely covered in dark. What did I say? Happy Thanksgiving? Here's to you, a biscuit on the trail. Now, I'd be lying to you if I said that this was the easiest tarp shelter to put up. It isn't. The reason why is because we're not relying on any kind of ridge lines, tie-offs, carabiners, or anything like that. So everything has to work in harmony, tension, and some patience. But if you get it right, it's nice and easy, lightweight, simple. The trick is to be able to get those poles to the right height and angle, keeping them in place, and not pulling up the stakes. Well, hey, that's all the time we got for this one. Thanks so much for hanging out and watching the video. Once again, happy Thanksgiving to you and all your friends and families and stuff. Hope you have a great day and all that stuff. The simple little trekking pole tarp shelter. Easy to carry in, easy to break down. Takes a little bit of patience, like I said, to set these things up. And it's a great skill to know and have when you're out in the middle of nowhere and you have nothing else to rely on other than a simple tarp and a couple stakes. Till next time, I'll see you on the next adventure. Take care.
Ha ha.